Hi there, Dr. Vicki Lemper here with the Shift Happens channel. Today, I am going to give you a really super powerful strategy. Now, this will help you, especially when you are trying to manifest your SP. There's some misconceptions we have around any strategy. There's misconceptions about manifesting that we're trying to get things. And we do get things, but we get them because we are that person. We are becoming that person. We are that person. We are being the person that has that. So we're going to explain that a little bit, and we're actually going to explore a strategy that is super simple, and it comes directly from the Bible, and it will work. But I don't want you to put too many expectations around it, and I'll explain more. But before we do that, go ahead and like, share, and comment. That's how we build our community. Listen, I am here to help you really build a life of freedom, free of worrying what other people think, free of being able to choose to be that person that you really want to be. All right. And if you need help on that journey, go ahead and contact me at shifthappenslifecoaching at gmail.com. All right. So let's get into this. All right. So now listen, you encounter a difficult situation, right? And when you are, you could do this even when you're spiraling. So when you are encountering some negative emotions, some negative feelings, some negative thought, some negative self-talk, right? You can stop yourself. And it comes from the Bible. It says, who do I say I am? So do that to yourself. Who am I conscious of being? Who do I say I am? And who are you identifying as being? Okay, let me give you an example. I was on a Zoom meeting, all right, and it's with colleagues. And I asked a question, and it was met with like, yeah, I mean, kind of like, duh, And so I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Apparently, I don't know what. And I started reeling, and I was like, oh. And in that moment, I had a ton of negative thoughts, a ton of negative storylines. And so when you go through all those, like, oh my gosh, I look stupid, I look dumb, they don't respect me. Why did I open up my mouth? Every time I open my mouth, I don't even say things right. It just seems so irrelevant as to what I'm saying. Blah, blah. You get the point, right? So I'm in the Zoom meeting. I say something. It was met with a little like, right? And so I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And you know what? You take a deep breath and you do just as the Bible says, who do I say I am? So you can ask yourself, who am I conscious of being? Who am I conscious of being? And then all of a sudden you start saying, I am conscious of being someone that doesn't always say things right. Someone that, it could be as simple as, you know what? I'm conscious of being kind of a fuck up, right? You could say something, whatever it is, be honest with yourself. And then don't try to do this with any expectation other than recognizing and acknowledging, who am I being right now? In the beginning, don't even try to change, like, okay, I am being someone that's rejected. Okay, I need to do the opposite. I am accepted. I am accepted. No, unless it comes natural. Affirmations should only come when they feel natural, like you're really building yourself up, like you are truly being your best friend. Okay, because you've got feeling, you got a little belief, and it just feels natural. So often, here is the key to a lot of these strategies that are bouncing around out there. We do a lot of these things and we're like, okay, we need to get, and now I'll get it, right? And then we put that expectation, and then it floats back to us and we're not getting what we think we need to get. Well, that's because we put way too many expectations. Try to enter a lot of these strategies without an expectation other than exploring, who am I? Because that's ultimately where we all want to be, is who am I? Who am I being right now? Who am I consciously being? And leave it alone and let it come, because your free will is your choice. It's the choice in who you are choosing to be in the moment right now. It's who you are believing that you are. Who is it? So, and you don't even have to have people around you. When negative storylines come up, maybe you're cleaning the house and all of a sudden uh, a negative storyline comes up. And you're like, who am I saying I am? And just let it just kind of float and let it just kind of let things naturally come up and just observe it and acknowledge, okay, that's who I am, but that's not who you are, right? That's an egoic, emotional reaction to a story that you have going on in your head. So this works whether it's an imagined story or whether you're actually engaged in a 3D interaction with someone. Okay? Don't try to manipulate it. Don't try to change it. Don't try to just see what comes up. Who do I say I am? Who am I choosing to be in this moment right now? Okay? And just putting a little light on it, shedding a little acknowledgement helps to dissipate it. Listen, it's so simple. And I always say this. Listen, I teach teachers how to teach. And I always say some of the simplest, absolutely the simplest strategies really, really help. So things like breathing and just taking yourself, because it puts you right in the moment, right in the present moment. Who do I say I am? Who am I conscious of choosing of who I am being right now? Who am I being right now? I am identifying being the person that doesn't always say things right. I am choosing to notice. I am being the person that doesn't always get the text back. I am choosing to be the person on the outside looking in. I am choosing to be the person, whatever it is. Be honest with yourself and just let it sit. Let it rise up. Don't try to do anything to it. And really what you're doing is being in the moment. You're being honest and you're observing. That's how you observe those thoughts without attaching them. Because oftentimes when we encounter, whether it's an imagined story or an actual interaction, that emotion takes over and says, oh my gosh, look at it. That ego and emotion just starts going, oh my gosh, you're being rejected. Shut your mouth. Don't say anything more. Just be small. Okay. And, see where that takes you. Just do that for the next day, 2 days, 3 days, and see what happens. See what comes up. And then see if it feels good or natural to go, you know what? I'm choosing to be something different. I know I'm something different. So right now, I'm going to share with you also what I'm exploring. A lot of these concepts, there's so many things. Manifesting is simple, but there's a lot of nuances to this, right? And so there's different features that, at different times seem really important. And that's great because we're exploring different avenues and different techniques and different perspectives. And it all goes back to that connection with God. When we are identifying outside of ourselves, meaning I am identifying with, negative emotion or negative storylines. God's over here. God doesn't participate in the negative. We're like, oh, so we're kind of, detaching from our source and going into our emotion. Like, oh my gosh, see? How dare you dream? It's not working. Look, the 3D, there's rejection. There's all these different negative emotions. Careful, careful. And so just shedding light on it and observing can help you really just calm yourself down. And when you are able to just simply breathe and be in the moment and just acknowledge, ask yourself, who am I? That's when you're able to really manifest, because you don't manifest you can manifest. We manifest all the time. But when you really desire something and you're needing it, that's in the state of lack, as if I don't have it, I need it. Do you really need that text to make yourself happy? Do you really need that text to go, oh, now you feel better? Yeah, you might feel better in the moment. And then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, are they thinking of me? Are they going to text me again? Are they going to call? Are they going to, you see what I mean? And so you need to make sure that you're relying on yourself for that validation, and recognizing, who am I identifying as being right here, right now, in this moment? Am I identifying as a person that's being rejected? And if it feels good and you just want to affirm, like, no, I am choosing to be the person of I am. That's a really powerful thing. If you want to, if it feels good and natural, it feels safe to go, you have those negative emotions, you feel it, you see it, whether this storyline is imagined or if it's an actual interaction, and you say, oh, who am I choosing to be right here, right now, in this moment? And then if it feels safe and natural, go beyond it and say, I'm choosing to be I am. And just sit with that. Contemplate on some of these things. Right now, I'm going to start contemplate. We always say we're whole, perfect, and complete. Well, what does those three things mean? That is identified with I am, but what does whole really mean? Meditate on that. Just kind of contemplate. Don't try to force things. All these strategies like, who do I say I am? Don't try and force it. Go judge and go, well, you don't want to be too honest. Be careful. Because if I admit that I am someone that doesn't know how to manifest, then I'm going to create that. No, you're just simply being honest with yourself and going, I'm not sure. I'm not a master at manifesting. I'm feeling weak. I'm feeling like a failure. I'm feeling like I'm doubting. Whatever it is, be honest. And when you're honest, you shed light on it and it kind of dissipates. Just see what happens, but go into it without expectation, without trying to create something. Remember, we manifest not to get, but to become. And when we become, that's when things come to us. All right. I know this set well with people. Just go ahead and like, share, and comment. Let me know how this sets well with you. Try this for a day or two, 3 days, and don't try to change. Don't try to do anything. Just let it be and see what comes. All right. Go ahead and like, share, and comment. That's how we build our community. Thank you so much for always being here. I appreciate everyone's participation. Until next time. Bye-bye.